So, entertaining channel, entertaining games. How often do you play a popular Grandmaster? So, how often do you beat a Grandmaster? Let me ask another question. How often do you checkmate a Grandmaster? Let's enjoy the game. I had white and I played d4, and he played d5. So he's pretty strong, and I figured that I wanted to play maybe something solid every once in a while. So I decided to play what we call the boring opening. Is bishop f4. That's the London. It's probably solid enough, especially when it comes to like quick time control. Playing solid opening or something that you know it's a good idea. Solid opening is really key and like fast, to be honest. Fast time control. So I played c6, which is fine, but e3, bishop f5, and I played knight bd2, knight d2 right away, and then e6. So I played bishop d3. So now it's not a good idea to take here. The reason for that, because it does give a little bit of central control for white. Potentially the rook goes to c1. You know, there's not a good thing. It's not a good thing for black. I mean, even though it's playable, black could play this kind of stuff, but it's not really needed to help your opponent. He played bishop d6. I took, and then I took here, which you might say you're giving up a little bit of control, a little bit, but it looks like, you know, still playable for white. Computer wants 92, maybe knight f4, I guess. But this move is okay, and we have knight f6. So knight f6 here, reasonable move, and queen e2 is reasonable move, and he castle, which is also reasonable move. White has to play a reasonable move now. And I think white is equalized. Should I play castle short? Something like here, knight bd7, c4. Let's say this move or something, and then queen d3, g6. Looks like it's a solid game, equal game. Nothing much happening. Computer is basically saying it's equal. Would have been solid enough, you know, just even game from here. I decided to play here. And this move is not good. The reason for that is anytime you want to castle long, you want to make sure that maybe you're able to attack on the king side. When your opponent is castling short, I don't see like white is attacking anytime soon. Not now, and not the next 20 years. His pawn structure in this king side is okay, and my attack is not happening. I mean, how fast I'm gonna play h3 g4, and his attack is coming really fast. Like the queen side is easier to attack. Like I could see like how fast he could do this. He could play c5. The knight gets in here, rook c8. So like you could do this, rook c8, b5, a5. It's much easier for black to do so. And you don't want to do this. You don't want to allow your opponent to go for this kind of stuff. So if I were to castle short, we don't have this kind of ideas, right? But I played castle long, and he played rook e8, which is active rook move, right? I decided to do this move, so f4, and maybe I'm gonna attack soon, sometimes this year, but you know, and he played knight here, and I wanted to play f4. You don't want to take, of course, if you take back, if you allow knight, you know, if you take on e5, I take with a pawn, one of the pawns, and you're gonna guarantee to lose the knight at least, because the pawn at e5 would be like here. We attack the queen or the knight, and obviously you're gonna lose the knight, assuming you move the queen. So you don't want to take, of course. That's not a good idea. So he played here. And that move we talked about, how he could play c5. You could see that he could take, opening up with the other rook. So more lines are opening up. And I'm castled here, right, on c1. So I played c3. It's not a good idea, but, you know, I guess here it looked really good for him. So c4 looks like you're blocking, but you're not. Maybe you could do this here, or a5, b5, b4. You could see this specific move order. B4 you could open up, and then something like here and rook b8. You know, it's opening up really fast after c4. I felt like here this is good enough for him. So here b5, the computer wants me to take. I didn't feel like I could take here. I decided to go this way, and then he could have went for c4 as well here. So c4 here looks pretty strong. It was good here as well. It was also good here. It's good, you know, it's also good here. Was the idea that it's the same thing, you know, just going for the attack, a lot easier. He went here instead. I don't think this move, I mean, I could have went for this one, but, you know, I played king b1. But he went here, and this move is not good enough. And this is my chance now to like equalize somehow, meaning that I could have went for like takes. I guess if you take this way, you take this pawn, right? That's actually the drawback with this move. I could take a free pawn, and then I'm defending. Then maybe d5 is weak. So he has to play queen takes. And then if I were to take here, I think take here, I have knight b3. You might say, well, can he just take this? But that's only good for white. Now you're trading queens, right? So if you trade queens, you don't have to worry about queenside attack. And also here, it looks like white is active after something like this. Much active, weak pawns, potentially. And white is just active with the rooks and the knight in the next couple moves. So he doesn't want to do this, of course. But this move would have been tough. Like, what are you gonna do instead? Which I missed. I did not go for this move. I actually went for takes. And this move is not good. I mean, c4 is still an interesting move. Because if you play this, defending this pawn, a5. And you could see why the computer was just like black. It's just opening up lines, right? I mean, if you play this, you know, it just feels like it's, you know, the attack is happening really fast and, you know, quicker than you think. And then, you know, and you could see that my attack never happened, right? You know, should have castled, you know, short long time ago, like 20 years ago. But anyways, I took this way. He took this way, which is not perfect enough. And then he played here. He's still better. Then I played knight b3 and then knight b6. I actually like this move, even though e5, e4 looked pretty strong. The reason I like this move because maybe knight c4. And knight c4, which helps with e5, e4, you know, potential ideas against b2 later on. So I played here. You don't want to trade queens because trading queens here, maybe rook takes, knight e4, rook c2. You don't want to trade queens, right? If you're attacking, especially on the queen side, you want to keep the queens on. So he's not going to go for that. He went for going back and h3. So, you know, I started to tell myself the attack must come now, right? It's not a good idea because now his knight is coming along, knight e4. The other knight comes along and everybody is coming along, and obviously these knights are active, right? But the problem is not so much the knights, is actually how fast he's attacking. So I played g4 and you can see f6 is happening, and then I decided to sack. I didn't feel comfortable. Like I was like, you know, if I'm gonna go back, then what the points, right? You want to take, you take. So I told myself I just take this pawn. It's losing, by the way, but it's at least a try. So I was like, I'm going to take here. I'm attacking the queen. So queen b6, which is good enough. Now he's actually winning because now not just, you know, his attack is happening, but he's up a knight. So I played here. This is like bluffing time, f6. He's still losing. Now he has a lot of moves. You could take knight takes because I cannot take this way, right? He takes my queen. He could take this pawn this way. You know, or he could do rook a b8. You know, you don't want to, like, this move just doesn't do much. He just takes, right? So he went was actually this move, which is good enough. And I played here. So started with rook g1. I had a plan. Like I saw here, there's only one plan I'm going for. As soon as rook g1 happened here, I had that plan, and I told myself this is the only plan that I have left. Because I'm just down a knight, and also a5, a4 is happening. I cannot stop this plan. I mean, I cannot stop his e5, e4 because if you push the pawn, he just take the knight. If you move the knight, you just get checkmated on b2. So there's no way you could defend. You could probably play queen e2, but he's still gonna play e5, e4, and then maybe knight c3 if you're not really careful. You could still lose your queen. So I told myself, you know, queen h4. Now this is the plan is rook g1, queen h4. You might say, where are you going? I mean, that's the only plan. You would know by the next couple moves. He played a5, which is good enough. This is according to the engine and myself and everybody else. It's winning, right? Next move is a4. So then I played this move. This actually, I've seen it all. I've seen it, like, I would say as soon as I played rook g1, I've seen that I have to play this move. And then the only winning move, I mean, there's a lot of winning ideas, like including f5. I mean, f5 would have been interesting. He played e4, still winning. Now he could see my point. I cannot move away. checkmate. And if I don't move away, he's at stakes. So I played this move. So here, black had a lot of opportunities to play any move here he wants. I mean, except one move. Except one move that he cannot really do. So for example, to give you an idea, why not knight g5? And you might say take. But that doesn't help because he could just take here. By the way, should he take back the knight or something? I get, this mate. Because if you take, if you go here, you don't take, by the way, there's a rook. Checkmate. If you go here, checkmate, right? So I cannot go for, he could play this move. So knight g5, I cannot take the pawn, meaning I cannot really take the pawn and allow this kind of stuff. Or I could take it, but I'm just getting mated. There's another move. Wait a second. Yeah, there's another move, rook here also, maybe. Let me see what other move. Rook here also is playable. Defending. Because here, the issue, as soon as I play here, and I played this move and he took, this is the only move he cannot do. So he could play rook e7. You could see where I'm going with this. Like rook e7 is okay. He could play knight g5 is okay. He could also play rook g8. Actually, rook g8 is not okay, of course. Rook g8 is not a good idea. Actually, he had rook e7. Rook e7. So rook e7, they have a good idea to stop specific move. Because the next move here that I did after here, so I told myself he's going to take, let him take. He took. I mean, I was shocked by this move, and he had time. He thought about it for the 3 seconds or 4 seconds, and he took. This move is losing. It's just forced lost here. It's just checkmate is coming. And that's the reason why you want to play rook e7 or e7, one of the moves, right? Could you pause the video, find the checkmate? If you found the checkmate, that's pretty good, though. If you haven't, if you haven't, you have to do a lot of puzzles. There's a checkmate, a pattern here, and it involving queen takes. He resigned. And there's a reason why he resigned, because he knows after king takes that here, rook h4, checkmate. And that you can see how I was able to do this beginning from here. If you go back a little bit, I was able to spot that. Should I go here and, you could see move by move, rook g4 specifically, so I could play rook h4. The reason this move doesn't work, there was f5. You could see when I said f5, there was a good idea behind this move. So the rook has to go, let's say, go back or something, right? So I don't have the mate. I don't have this mate. The rook is, let's say I play rook g2, right? I don't have the mate because you can still defend it somehow. Let's say you play, let's say you play here. He could still defend it. And there's also potentially queen h6, right? I mean, maybe still you do have to defend in a better way, though. I mean, and there's a lot of moves. You could still win here. And then obviously it's still winning. I mean, I don't have this move, right? Now, just to show you what I mean by this. There's no mate. There's no rook h4, right? So the rook has to stay on g4 to deliver the mate on h4, right? So when I was able to do this, my eye was on here. So should you take the knight or do something equivalent that, doesn't address the issue? Like, let's say he plays here, still the mate, right? Same concept. Same idea, right? So it's funny that I was able to, I mean, I would assume he would see it. It's easy to see because he should figure out what he's doing. Like, what is queen h4? What is rook g4? It almost felt like he was looking at one side, didn't care about what I'm doing the other side. And he was determined that he's winning anyway. Like, even if I were to play queen h4, rook g4, he's still going to get the checkmate first. My assumption that he felt like the mate was coming for him, meaning that he was looking at here, like here and here fast enough. So once you reach this situation, you're checkmating. But before you before you get it, I am the one going for this move first. I mean, should he play rook e7 or something, I would have resigned because I'm the one getting mated and not him. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this video, and I will see you by the next one. Thank you, folks.